Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be a really fun show. Do you remember when dating meant passing notes and using landlines with those really stretchy cords that stretched just far enough for privacy? And sometimes you stretched them too far, they didn't have any stretch left? Well, those days are long gone, and I really do admit that I miss them. Now our brains are caught in an internal war that sabotage our love life without us even knowing it. Today, I'm going to reveal the hidden neural battle inside of your noggin whenever you swipe right or cancel a date that seems like it could be really good. That's all coming up. Welcome to Intentionally Single, Seeking But Not Settling. I'm Lauren Jean, your host, integrative wellness coach, and hypnotist. Each week, we explore mindset shifts and mind-body strategies to help you live life intentionally single and content while remaining open to possibilities. Unlike typical dating advice, we focus on personal fulfillment to attract genuine love. Join us to transform unconscious patterns and embrace your intentionally single lifestyle. Stop feeling deflated by the dating world and start prioritizing the most important relationship, the one with yourself. Back in my teens and 20s, I remember seeing a guy in person, yes, actually out somewhere in public, not just on a profile on a dating app. And immediately, I knew if I was attracted and wanted to talk to him. There was no internal war raging inside of my head about his potential problems or any kind of hidden baggage. No mental checklists like, does he have a crazy ex? Is he secretly boring? Can he sustain an intellectual conversation about something deeper than sports scores? Back in those simpler days, my only real concern was whether he would like me back. That butterfly feeling in my stomach wasn't complicated by analyzing any attachment styles or wondering if his text response time indicated his avoidant tendencies. Now, with all of the self-improvement and empowerment talk, which isn't inherently bad, it seemed almost impossible to maintain that simple, present moment awareness. Every single potential connection comes preloaded with these questions about childhood trauma and triggers, and sometimes it's just too much. We're encouraged to inspect every interaction for red flags before we've even had a real conversation and had a chance to get to know the person. Do you remember when chemistry was just chemistry? When you could look across this crowded room, making eye contact and just feeling something without immediate questioning, whether that feeling was a trauma response or your anxious attachment style coming up? I miss those days. I actually had one of those looks across the room in a crowded bar, and I do remember that feeling. It was very different. I miss those days when dating felt more like an adventure and less like a therapy session. When you could be drawn to someone's smile or eyes or the way they spiked their hair without immediately wondering what emotional wounds they might be hiding behind it. When going with your gut wasn't dismissed as ignoring warning signs. And don't get me wrong, I value the awareness and personal growth of understanding relationship patterns very much. I do, which is why a big reason I do this podcast and a lot of things that I talk about. But sometimes I wonder if we've overthought ourselves right out of experiencing genuine, uncomplicated attraction. If we're so busy protecting ourselves from potential pain that we've forgotten how to simply enjoy the excitement of meeting someone new. Maybe there's wisdom in reclaiming some of that straightforward approach to connection. Where could you just be present, feel what you feel, and let things unfold naturally without pre-analyzing every possible outcome or emotional pitfall? Maybe true empowerment isn't just about recognizing red flags and setting boundaries, although those things really do matter, but also about trusting ourselves enough to occasionally silence that analytical mind and simply enjoy the moment. Which brings me to today's idea. What dating feels difficult after 40 and why we typically blame external factors. There are fewer people available because at this point, many are in relationships or married. Good people are taken. Dating apps are a waste of time, or we've simply lost touch with the world and are so isolated to our everyday lives of the same exact thing day after day, hour after hour, year after year. Or worse, we just blame ourselves. I'm too picky, I'm too damaged, I'm set in my ways, blah, blah, blah. Put yours in right there. But I think the biggest challenge to finding love after 40 isn't out there. It's the hidden battle happening inside of your brain. Everything is inside our brain. What we make of the world is inside our brain. The mistake is trying to date without understanding or managing this internal conflict that's quietly sabotaging every attempt at dating that you try. And this misunderstanding will persist because we can't see the invisible neural battle happening in real time. What's really occurring is that there's two ancient brain systems that are fighting for control. I'm going to go through all of these pieces right here. And this was given by a neurophysiologist named Rick Hansen. So, first, your connection system, called the Wolf of Love. This system evolved over millions of years to help humans form bonds that guarantee our survival, because that's the whole point of the human race being here. We need to be guaranteed survival to actually stay here on this planet. And what this does is it releases oxytocin and dopamine, making connections feel like real and rewarding and safe and like we want to be here. Then there's your protection system, the wolf of fear, as Rick Hansen calls it. This alert system scans for threats and it categorizes people as safe or dangerous, so whether or not you want to be near them or you want to get away from them. And it activates your amygdala, which is a part of the brain which is responsible for this emotion of fear. And it triggers anxiety and doubt and self-protective behaviors. Okay, so here is the critical part. By reaching your 40s, your protection system has accumulated decades of relationship data. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, and every betrayal, and everything in between. Experience has strengthened it and has powerful evidence to justify keeping you safe rather than connected. So you might enjoy your quiet nights at home or cancel dates at the last minute because you just want to be comfortable and safe. Meanwhile, society told our generation, which I'm talking here specifically Gen X, that we should have it all figured out by now. Okay, that's actually happening for everyone? I don't think so. We are the generation supposed to find our person and build our career and get our life on track. We were also the generation that was told we had to go to college and get a great job and make a lot of money. And it didn't really matter if we were actually happy doing it. You just did it. You just did it to be safe. This is what we were told. This is what we were taught. I had these grandiose plans that I was going to be married out of college, which I actually did accomplish that second part, and have twin boys. And like you can imagine, you could somehow magically tell the eggs what to create in your body. No, Lauren, you cannot. So being single after 40 sometimes feels like maybe we failed at life because of all that early programming and stuff we were told that we should be doing. And also add shame onto that, and it further activates our protection system that's naturally innate in our bodies. Our body just wants us to be safe and comfortable, which is entirely understandable. When we ignore this internal battle, we are sabotaging ourselves in predictable ways. And what I see from the people that I work with, my clients, and also listeners of this show is you match with someone online that seems authentic and you feel like you have this spark of hope. And then you spend hours of analyzing their profile for potential problems until you talk yourself out of meeting them. Or you have a great first date, but on the second you fixate on how they hold their fork or their taste in music. Stupid minor issues that your brain will magnify into these ridiculous deal breakers. Guys, no one's perfect. Or maybe, most painfully, you find yourself cycling between intense hopefulness when meeting someone new and crushing disappointment when it doesn't work out. Each cycle making you more hesitant to try again. Your connection system briefly takes control, right here, only to be overridden by your hyper-vigilant protection system that's been strengthened by decades of experience. This cost is enormous. You get isolated when you crave connection, the self-doubt that corrupts confidence, and eventually you accept loneliness because dating feels too hard and you just want it to be easy, like it used to be back when you were in your teens and 20s. I get it. I've been there. The solution isn't about more dating tips or profile tweaks. It's learning to recognize and manage this neural battle directly instead of being caught in this crossfire between this competing systems that you have in your mind. You need to become aware of the conscious mediator of this conflict, guys. This requires some shifting to be conscious of what is happening. First, awareness, like I always preach. Learning to recognize which system drives your dating decisions as you make them. Is it your connection system genuinely responding to compatibility? Or your protection system finding reasons to maintain distance or run as far away as freaking possible? The second one is validation, which acknowledges that both systems serve important purposes because they do. Your protection system has kept you from repeating painful relationship patterns, and it does deserve respect, not suppression. Let it know that it's okay to be there. And the third one is conscious override. Developing this ability to pause your protection system when it activates, when you don't actually want it to, and make choices aligned with your deeper desire for connection with someone, not just for safety. This approach is completely different from the traditional dating advice because it addresses this root cause of dating struggles, the neural battle itself, rather than just treating the symptom, which is what I hear a lot. So, this approach works because it aligns with how your brain actually functions. And when you understand how something works, you can begin to change it and make shit happen that you actually want to happen. Neuroscience confirms that simply bringing awareness to emotional reactions engages your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain that is capable of overriding automatic protective responses. When you can identify that your sudden urge to cancel a date is coming from your protection system rather than genuine incompatibility, you gain the power to make different choices. Research shows that naming emotional states, which is called affect labeling, reduces the amygdala activation by up to 50%. And remember, the amygdala is that piece in your brain that is responsible for the fear response. So simply saying or thinking to yourself, I notice my protection system is activating right now, it begins to calm that system. Yes, speak it out loud. Maybe you'll sound a little bit crazy, but who cares if it makes you feel a bit better? And what makes this way of dealing with your mind effective for people over 40 is that it honors your life experience. It validates you. It makes you feel seen and heard, understood, and that what you think matters. Unlike dating advice that treats you like you're still 25, which you might be getting if you're looking up advice from traditional dating sites or you're just asking Google for answers. This approach recognizes that your brain has collected decades of relationship data, and we work with it rather than against it. If you are ready to understand the hidden brain battle sabotaging your dating life, I have created this free assessment called Mapping Your Neural Dating Patterns. And this guided reflection will help you identify your specific protection patterns and how they've shaped by your past relationships. You're going to gain immediate clarity about which system is driving your dating decisions and specific strategies to maintain this internal battle. This page will be available on my website, which I don't really put out there too often, but each episode and post is up on this page. You can visit it at www.podpage.com/intentionally single to get your free assessment today. I had a lot of fun putting this together. I hope you put it to use, and you will be able to get this as soon as this episode airs. So I ask you, what protection pattern do you notice activating in your dating life? Do you recognize moments when your brain seems to be working against your desire for connection? I would love to hear about your experiences with this hidden brain battle. Please reach out, send me a message on Instagram at the Girl with the Vine Tattoo, or you can email me your thoughts to intentionallysinglepodcast@gmail.com. I personally read every single message, and I would love to hear your story. As for next week, I'm not really sure yet, but as always, I know it's going to be a really good one because I'm having a lot of fun putting these episodes together. So I will see you back here next weekend for another exciting episode. This is Lauren Jean again, reminding you that being intentionally single doesn't mean settling for being alone. And please, 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 always keep your heart open to possibilities. Until next week, I'll see you.